Hey, friends. Um, Before I get back on the road, I think I'll go ahead and knock out a quick discussion here. We just talked a little bit about Jung, and Jung is spelled Jung. All right? Carl Gustav Jung. I think a very brilliant person. And he said some things I really want you to think about. Number one, every addiction is bad. No matter whether it is alcohol or morphine or orthodoxy. Now, Jung himself is, or I should say was, an agnostic. He believed, oh, wait. He said that he knew that there was a creator because he could not explain the world without it. And he said, the word belief is a difficult thing for me. I don't believe. I must have reason for a certain hypothesis. Either I know a thing, and then I know it, or not. I don't need to believe it. And a lot of people think, well, that's kind of a play on words, yada, yada, yada. But I think it really goes to the core of why many people, especially intelligent people, push away at first a belief in the divine. And that's because, well, there's a number of factors, but they get on the path and they're looking at things that happen and they say, well, why would this happen? Why would that happen? If there was a creator, isn't it obvious that it would be in the creator's best interest to do this or that or the other thing? And my response to that has always been, well, for the most part, God doesn't meddle in the lives of men. It's up to each of us to make our way, for better or for worse. And if we can, great. If we can't, well, then we need to figure out a way to get stronger, right? Remember facing those battles? So Jung says he doesn't believe. He either knows something or he doesn't. Which means, of course, that you have to spend a significant amount of time going through that hypothesis in order to determine whether or not you know a thing or not. I like that. I like the way that Jung phrases that, because it is, I think, very powerful. Beliefs can be shattered, destroyed. But knowledge cannot be. It can be added to, it can be emphasized, but remember, as you go through that furnace of doubt, I think this is also what Jung is talking about, where you're burning away all the extraneous garbage and coming to grips with what it is that, that bottom line, in order to create that knowledge. You don't have to believe. Belief leads to orthodoxy, as he said earlier. Every addiction is bad, no matter whether it's alcohol, morphine, or orthodoxy. So, orthodoxy, of course, is following what you've been told. It is not knowledge. It is not knowing. It is belief. So, I like those things. And in order to get there, this next piece comes into play, right? Jung says, a man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. I consider myself a very passionate person. And I've been through the inferno, as I'm sure many of you had. Loves that have come and gone, that at one time burned so intensely in a passion that you had hoped, maybe even believed, would last forever, only to have those things fall apart, and oftentimes you're crushed. Anyway. In order to get there, how do you pass through that inferno of passions? Jung follows with, knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but also upon error. You can't know a thing without the battle that it takes to reach that assurity of knowledge, where you have taken that hypothesis and worked your way through it again and again and again in order to come to an understanding. I believe that's what Jung is talking about. That takes strength. That takes fortitude. That takes you standing up and taking on the battles that present themselves in your life. And those things you want to do now. You want to do them today. Because remember, you will eventually bear the scars of the battles that you avoided. I'm sure that I literally have far more scars, not just physical, but I'm talking mental, from the battles that I avoided rather than the battles that I engaged. So now I seek engagement. One more thing from Jung. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere existence. I think about that a lot. Some days I can shine. Other days, I'm like a candle that is just kind of barely sputtering in a breeze. That it seems almost just ready to go out. I've got no power, no energy. Been beaten down. Often by the battles that I didn't engage right away. Goodness. Take on those battles. Take them on today. Take them on now. Now is the only time. Now is your only existence. Think about these things that Jung is throwing out there from a standpoint not only of how you engage with the divine, but how you engage in your daily existence. Be that light in the darkness that Jung is talking about. Drive away your fear. Overcome orthodoxy. You're going to make errors. So what? You'll know better next time. Reach a point where you can prove your hypothesis of existence. That's about it. All right. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll chat later. Bye.